In an African village, there were two girls named Emma and Chloe. Emma had always been a pillar of virtue and faith. Her life was a testament to her deep-seated Christian beliefs, which she carried with grace and conviction. Raised in a family deeply involved in their local church, Emma had learned from a young age that the path of righteousness was paved with kindness, respect, and unwavering commitment to her faith. Her days were filled with community service, prayer, and the simple, yet profound, joys of a life devoted to spiritual and moral principles. Her family's modest home was a hub of activity, where the doors were always open to those in need. Emma's parents, well respected in their church, had instilled in her the values of charity and compassion. Emma's own life mirrored these values. She volunteered at soup kitchens, participated in youth groups, and often led Bible study sessions. Her friends admired her for her purity of heart and her steadfast commitment to her beliefs. In stark contrast to Emma's life was Chloe's. Chloe, in her early 20s, was grappling with the harsh realities of financial instability. Her existence was a daily struggle, marked by the constant tension between her desires and the pressing need to make ends meet. Chloe had grown up in a world where survival often took precedence over dreams. With little support from her family and a series of low-paying, dead-end jobs, she found herself ensnared in a life she had never envisioned. The streets she walked were often shadowed by the weight of her financial burdens. Chloe's choices were driven by necessity rather than desire. Her life had taken a dark turn when she began working as a prostitute, a decision she had made reluctantly and one that weighed heavily on her conscience. The desperation to escape the cycle of poverty led her into this grim reality, where each night brought a new struggle for survival. The collision of their worlds occurred on an ordinary autumn afternoon, a day that began like any other but would turn out to be anything but. Emma, having attended a morning service at her church, decided to treat herself to a visit to a local cafe. It was a routine she cherished, a time to relax, reflect, and read her Bible. The cafe was a cozy refuge, a place where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the soft hum of conversation. As Emma settled into her usual spot, her eyes were drawn to a young woman who had just entered. Chloe's appearance was strikingly out of place in the serene setting of the cafe. Her clothes were disheveled, and her expression was one of anxious detachment. Chloe seemed lost, as if the world had conspired against her. Emma's heart, ever compassionate, went out to this troubled soul. Despite the bustling atmosphere, Emma felt a profound sense of empathy for Chloe. She couldn't ignore the quiet plea for help that seemed to emanate from the young woman. Summoning her courage, Emma approached Chloe's table with a warm, genuine smile. "Hi there," she said softly. "You look like you could use a friend. Would you mind if I joined you?" Chloe, taken aback by the unexpected kindness, hesitated. Her life had been marked by suspicion and mistrust, not by gestures of goodwill. "I don't want to intrude," she replied, her voice laced with uncertainty. Emma's smile remained unwavering. "It's no intrusion at all. Please sit." Chloe, though still wary, accepted the invitation. Emma ordered an extra coffee and placed it in front of Chloe. The initial awkwardness slowly gave way to a conversation that flowed with surprising ease. Emma's genuine interest and kindness began to break through Chloe's defenses. Chloe, for the first time in a long while, felt heard and valued. As days turned into weeks, Emma and Chloe's friendship deepened. Emma's influence on Chloe was palpable. Chloe began to make noticeable changes in her life, partly inspired by Emma's unwavering faith and the supportive friendship she offered. The change was not just in Chloe's appearance, but also in her demeanor. She started dressing more modestly and took an interest in Emma's world of community service and church activities. Emma's dedication to helping Chloe was unwavering. She took Chloe under her wing, guiding her through job applications and providing moral support. Emma's efforts seemed to bear fruit when Chloe managed to secure a job at a local diner. For a brief moment, it seemed as though Chloe's life was on an upward trajectory, but the financial strain didn't entirely dissipate. The job at the diner, while a step in the right direction, did not provide enough to cover Chloe's mounting bills. The constant pressure of financial instability began to take its toll on Chloe's newfound hope. The desperation that had once driven her to prostitution was resurfacing, threatening to pull her back into the same cycle of survival she had been trying to escape. Emma noticed the changes in Chloe. The vibrant, hopeful demeanor Chloe had exhibited was giving way to anxiety and despair. Chloe's withdrawals became more frequent, and she started canceling plans. Emma, concerned for her friend, reached out, but Chloe's responses were increasingly distant and evasive. The painful realization that Chloe was slipping back into her old life was a crushing blow for Emma. She felt powerless to help her friend, and the isolation from her community only compounded her feelings of helplessness. Emma's once strong faith was now being tested by the harsh realities of her situation. The support from her community, which had always been a source of strength, was now marred by judgment and disapproval. Emma's parents, ever concerned with their daughter's well-being, had begun to notice the change in Emma's social circle. The whispers of Chloe's past had reached their ears, and they were troubled by the growing association between their daughter and someone with Chloe's background. Their disapproval was not just about Chloe's choices, but about the impact they believed it would have on Emma's reputation. One evening, as Emma and her parents sat down for dinner, the tension was palpable. Emma's mother, her voice tinged with worry, broached the subject. "Emma, we've been hearing unsettling things about Chloe. People in the community are talking, and it's not flattering." Her father, always the pragmatic one, added, "You need to be cautious. Associating with someone like Chloe could harm your reputation. We don't want you to be judged based on her actions." Emma, deeply hurt by her parents' concerns, defended her friend. "Chloe is my friend. She needs me right now, more than ever. I can't just turn my back on her." Despite Emma's heartfelt defense, the strain on her relationship with her community became increasingly evident. Neighbors who had once been supportive now looked at her with suspicion and disapproval. The vibrant social network that had once been a source of comfort was now a source of judgment. Emma felt isolated, caught between her loyalty to Chloe and the harsh realities of her social environment. Chloe, meanwhile, was falling deeper into her previous lifestyle. The pressures of financial instability led her back to prostitution, a choice she had hoped to leave behind. The once promising job at the diner was not enough to alleviate her financial burdens, and the dark world she had hoped to escape became a relentless force pulling her back. Emma's isolation was compounded by her growing sense of despair. The judgments from her community and the struggles of her friendship with Chloe weighed heavily on her. Emma's once clear sense of right and wrong began to blur as she faced the overwhelming pressure of her circumstances. In a tragic turn of events, Emma found herself drawn into the very lifestyle she had once condemned. The judgment from her community and the emotional toll of her isolation led her to make choices she had never imagined. Emma began to dress more provocatively and frequented the same dimly lit streets that Chloe had once walked. Her transformation from a devout Christian to someone living in the shadows of society was both painful and profound. The friendship between Emma and Chloe, once a source of hope and support, had devolved into a mutual struggle. Their lives, now intertwined in a web of despair, were a testament to the powerful influence of their choices. They met once again in a dimly lit bar, a place that had become a refuge for both women. The bar was a symbol of their shared descent into darkness. As they sat together, their conversation was marked by a sense of shared regret and sorrow. Chloe, her eyes reflecting a deep sense of guilt, spoke first. "I never wanted this for us," she said softly. Emma, tears streaming down her face, nodded in agreement. "Neither did I. I thought I could help you, but I ended up here too. It wasn't supposed to be like this." Their conversation was a poignant reflection of the damage that had been wrought by their choices and circumstances. The friendship that had once held the promise of redemption had instead led both women down a path of hardship and regret. As Emma and Chloe faced their uncertain futures, their story served as a powerful reminder of the impact of friendship on one's life. The choices they made and the company they kept had profoundly influenced their destinies. The tragic arc of their lives underscores the importance of discernment in friendships and the need to remain true to one's values amidst the trials of life. Their story is a stark reminder that the influence of friends can shape our lives in ways we may not fully comprehend. Emma and Chloe's lives, once filled with hope and promise, had become a testament to the complexities of human relationships and the sometimes harsh realities of existence. In the end, Emma and Chloe's journey is a cautionary tale about the profound impact that friendships can have. It highlights the need for careful consideration of the company we keep and the potential consequences of those choices. Their story is a powerful lesson about the importance of staying true to one's values and the significant role that friends can play in shaping our paths. As they navigated the challenges of their intertwined lives, Emma and Chloe's story became a poignant reminder of the need to choose our friends wisely and the profound effect that those choices can have on our futures. Their lives, once marked by hope and faith, had become a sobering testament to the complexities of human relationships and the powerful influence of friendship.